All right, sports fans, what's going on? Patrick over here, Ghost Picks ATS, coming at you live with the Open Championship breakdown. We lock long shots, locks of the week with my guy Moff Dollars. We're back. What's going on, Moff?
We are back. We are back. We got the Open Championship this week, Pat, 150th. Um, we were talking briefly. We were on shortly, then off. I'm checking right here, Pat. I don't see if we're up and running or not, but um, we'll just talk like we are.
Yeah, I think we're
What's
live.
going on?
We're good. Maybe. Yep, we're good. We're live.
Sweet. Yeah, like I said, 150th U.S. Open. I mean, home of golf, right, Pat? The old course at St. Andrews. Um, some of the best to ever do it. Jack and Tiger have won here multiple times. It's a test of players' abilities, and I think we're going to see some good golf this week. The weather's not looking too bad, so we might see some low scores out there for a course that can play pretty tough if the wind picks up. I still don't think we're up.
We're gonna test and see if we're live. I don't. I mean, this is what's going. It should be live. I'm pretty sure we are. No, we're live right now. Yeah, we're live.
It's showing the first clip that we made, 18 seconds. This is stupid. It's showing the first clip that we made, 18
I'm
seconds.
telling you right now, we're live.
All right, we're live. Let's get it. This is stupid. It's showing the first clip that we made, 18
I'm
seconds.
telling you right now, we're live. All right, you're tripping. You're
All
on the
right, we're
wrong
live.
one.
Let's get
Click
it.
on the different link. Let me
This
delete
is
that one.
stupid.
All right,
It's showing the first clip that we made, 18
I'm
seconds.
telling you right now, we're live. All right, you're
I'm on the
trying
wrong
to-
link, you
All right,
guys.
We are
Do it.
back, all the way back. What's going on, everybody? Technical difficulties, but we are in the clear now. Moff, you're good. We're good. Open Championship, 150th at St. Andrews, the home of golf. Everybody, it's a popular weekend. Everybody's tuning in. Rory, Spieth, Tiger's back. Tiger Watch is official. Moff, what are we thinking?
Very official. Like I said, I mean, Tiger's won here multiple times. Might be the last time this guy's playing here. We've seen in the last few majors dealing with that leg. It's weird, but you know how I am. I remember 7 years ago waiting until the wee hours of the morning to watch Tiger tee off, and I think he like doubled the first hole or something. And it was just, I mean, he wasn't full form. Um, Tough times, but I think I think Tiger. I think he could. I mean, he's never a sleeper, but I like him always if his leg can hold up. I mean, it's the leg, the foot. It's tough to trust and to know. I mean, it's been less than a year since he was in that accident, right? And so, but the dude knows this course like the back of his hand. He's gone 19 under out here, course or tournament record. Uh,
Of
if there's
course, this
somewhere
was
he
the
could do it.
tournament that he thought he had the best chance to win. That's why he skipped the U.S. Open. I mean, this is a flat course for somebody with a bum leg. It's warm weather. Tiger Watch is official. I do kind of think he has a good chance to make the cut this week. It's going to be out there,
Oh,
some
yeah.
people scoring. And with that being said, a guy like Tiger who knows the intricacies of the court, you saw him, I'm sure. He drove 18th green, a par four, like 370 yards, just because it's 370. It doesn't matter. It's links course. These old guys get extra added distance. So add his brain and his success at the course, I think that's a good way to start off our show with a little bit of Tiger Watch. I don't think he's got enough to win, but it'll be fun to watch.
No, but at plus, the odds that he's got. I mean, these top tens, top 20. I mean, plus 290 for the top 20 for Tiger. Like I got a sprinkle. Like because the dude has owned this course when he is healthy. I mean, granted, this was years ago, and he's kind of an old man. He's hurt, but he's still the GOAT. And if there's anybody who can, you know, rake it around and find a way to score out here, it's going to be Tiger.
And with that being said, just because it's such a big event, I wanted to find the best bet for Tiger. I don't think Tiger is going to win. I think the longer the tournament goes, the more likely he's going to struggle, just how it is. So like a first round, maybe not a first round leader, but a first round top 10 play on Tiger Woods. I don't hate something of the sort. You can see him coming out there and birdieing early on at the Masters. He went out there on the first day, and if he had putted, Moff, he would have been in contention for like first round leader. He was all over the pin.
Absolutely.
He couldn't putt anything. So another course he knows very well. I would not be surprised to see him come out and put up a couple birdies in the first round. Look a little action on Tiger first round, like top 10. I know that's available at like BetMGM, which is sweet there. Let's get into some real guys, Moff, some real golfers. So what are we looking for this week?
So the fairways out here are pretty wide. There's a lot of landing areas. So accuracy is not the biggest concern, but you still have to place it out here because you've got these crazy bunkers in the fairways, and so you want to land it in the right spots. And I mean, there's some crazy bounces out here. You never know which way the ball is going to bounce and move once it does hit, and that's the glory of this course. It frustrates the best players in the world. And so, yeah, while, the first hole is like 130 yards wide, like, there's holes out here that you got to hit it in the right spot. And so, I mean, distance definitely helps, but you still got to be semi-accurate. I mean, Zach Johnson went out here, and it's not a long hitter, but super accurate, right?
Yep, but you added distance with the links course. Zach Johnson, that 2015 was the last time we saw it at St. Andrews. A lot of different golfers were competing there that week. It was a four-way tie at the top between Louis, Leishman, Spieth, and who's the fourth? Oh, the one who actually won, Zach Johnson. But all those guys are different kinds of golfers, have different kind of talents. And the top 10 that week was also filled out with a bunch of bombers. So you have Zach Johnson, who kind of, dinks and dunks it around the course, scores, great putter. And then you had guys that can bomb the ball. I mean, I think there's a wide range of people that could win this week. If we're talking absolutely crazy lunatic, we got guys like 125-1 who have destroyed major courses before by the name of Bryson DeChambeau. Now, if we're looking for a top 5 or to win, I'll tell you right now, I'm going crazy, and DeChambeau is a name that will be getting a little sprinkle. It's the same as like Rory. These guys are there's a select few guys out here that are going to be able to drive 6 greens. They're going to be able to, easily attack the par 5s, and if they can pretty much avoid the bunkers, they're going to have more opportunities to score. People are talking about this course getting picked apart, Moff, but I don't know. Every year we see maybe 1 or 2 guys, but for the most part, most people struggle to get to 10 under for little intricacies, little reasons.
So I think the biggest factor, and it comes down to a lot of tournaments, is the weather. I mean, this course can be absolutely brutal if the wind starts howling. It's going to be relatively dry from what I can tell, maybe a few sprinkles on the first day, but it's hot out there, unseasonably hot. And so there's going to be rollout. These guys, so the bombers are going to get even a bigger advantage there. And I mean, on the topic of live golfers, I'm surprised and bombers, but I'm going to keep it same. Live golfers that I think can surprise a lot of people. No one's talking about him much, is Brooks Koepka. Notorious bomber. He's strokes gained on links courses. He's at the very top. This is a list filled with Terrell Hattons and Tommy Fleetwoods, who literally grew up playing the courses. Now, granted, they don't have as many rounds, Brooks doesn't have as many rounds as those two. Love those two guys also, just because of the amount of links golf that they've played. But Brooks Koepka, I mean, I'm sitting here looking at him. I meing, he hadn't been doing shit, right? I mean, he hadn't been playing. He's not in the best.
He's awful.
Yeah, but the dude pops up. I mean, dude, I watched him, Quail Hollow a few years ago, play like absolute dog shit, but the guy shows up to majors. It's like, something, it's a different gear. A guy clicks in. And sure, I mean, if you're comparing Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau, like.
Yeah, no, but one's 125-1 to win and one's 45-1.
Well, neither one of them are going to win, but that's,
somebody with a hot putter, I honest to goodness think, I mean, I'll die on the hill, but like somebody like Bryson DeChambeau, is he going to win? But give me 100 chances at it. which is what you're saying at 125-1. I mean, I think Bryson DeChambeau
That's
is
fair.
somebody who could do it, and we've seen these longer guys at the Open Championship win before. Now, obviously, there's the horses like Rory and Spieth, guys that continue year after year, have success here. But you really got to put together 1 week. I mean, if we're talking about, it's weird, the live guys, every single one of them. If we're doing DFS this week, I'm going to go ahead and say build a live lineup. Like if you're going to win the $1 million contest, you could put together a team, and maybe it's their week, maybe it's not. If there's any one reason to come out to play, it is this weekend. That has nothing to do with money or anything. You know, it's got pride and stuff to whatnot. DJ, Brooks, Louis is the best golfer at this course that there is. He's played it twice. He won once by 7 strokes out here, which is, you know, someone wins a tournament by 7 strokes, Moff. You're Tiger or you're Tiger. Like, people don't win golf tournaments by 7 strokes, especially majors. Louis dominated the course, and then in 2015 finished second. Put him in a lineup with DJ, you know, maybe even somebody like Gooch is a little bit far-fetched, but down there at 7,300, I know on Moff, Patty Reed on a short.
Yeah, no, good. Yeah, Patty Reed. No, you make a very good point. DFS. I mean, yeah, let's endorse all live guys. I mean, top live guys. Yeah, no, it's funny because I mean, yeah, Dustin, Bryson,
Hideki,
Patrick Reed.
I mean, these guys are going to be lower owned because people don't
fucking
like
Paul
them.
Casey, Louis. I mean, there you go. You don't even have to put Brooks in there.
Sprinkle a couple lineups of crazy with the $1 million contest or something like that. Because, you know, to win the $1 million contest, you not only have to be accurate, but you got to be different for the most part. Otherwise, everybody's going to win. You know, you can go up there and snag Rory and Spieth and try to build out your lineup, which, you know, not the worst strategy. But if I'm looking for the million, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I'm going to build a couple live lineups because every single one of them dominates on link courses, and they dominate at the Open Championship and specifically at St. Andrews. Every single one of those guys named has great success here. And people they're going to be low owned in DFS because they haven't had success as of late for the most part. But guys like Patty Reed have definitely been playing better golf. DJ has not been playing bad by any means. And Brooks, Moff said it, he's number 1 on links courses. Number 1.
Insane.
He dominates. It's just what it is what it is. So if you're catching him at $8,500, shoot. Now, these are maybe not the best betting advice here, but when you're looking for DFS, you're looking for long shot, or you're looking for, you know, a kind of pattern or some way to allocate your coins. Now, if you think got like a bomber's paradise, you know, if you think people are going to come out here and bomb it, you could take a lineup with Rory, Moff, maybe somebody like Willie Z. I know you're a Willie Z guy. I love Zalatoris here. Now, he's the opposite of all these guys that we've been talking about. Will Zalatoris has minimal success on links courses. He just hasn't done it often. But one thing he does have success doing is bouncing back from a missed cut. Moff, his numbers are absolutely absurd coming back from, you know, I think last time we locked him up was actually the U.S. Open, where he had missed the cut the week before. Everybody loved him. Everybody was on him. Misses the cut in a shootout tournament where everybody's throwing up birdies. It's kind of similar to last week. So Willie Z is another name that I think will be a little bit lower owned than he probably should be, especially considering his success in majors. You talked about Brooks. If I want the next Brooks, I'm hitting Willie Z before he wins a couple of these majors, and probably one of my favorites to win this week.
Willie Z. Well, I'll tell you what. I've put Louis kind of out of my mind for a while. I haven't really been thinking about him. But I mean, our very first episode, we locked Louis up, right?
Very first one.
And I mean, we've been gone a while. I mean, I think, Louis Oosthuizen in at plus 220 for the top 20.
Sheesh.
Sheesh. I like it.
If it's a scorers tournament, I think he has it in him. If it's a grinded
Definitely.
out tournament, he definitely has it in him. He hasn't been too heavily talked about this week, but for a guy like, you know, you tell me the last 2 times the guy went out, he won at this course and then by 7 strokes, and the other one he got second. You know, he tied for first.
You know how I feel. I've preached it all year. Guys play well at certain courses. You can't ignore it. And I mean that pretty much solidifies it for me. I mean the dude knows how to compete in these big tournaments. He's been around a long time,
And
and he's got the game for it.
he's got the game. And it live, I don't hold a ton for those live rankings or whatever, but to be top 10 in anything, you got to have you got to be in decent form. And that's what Louis did at live. Now, I'm not saying that's a normal top 10, but probably similar to at least like a made cut or whatever. So he's not in bad form or anything. And to be $8,800 amongst some people like Sam Burns who have multiple wins this year, who I think are going to be decently owned, that is what they call a pivot. And man, if Louis top 10, let's talk about big time payouts there. So Louis top 20 Moff, I like that. Where your head's at as a lock of the week.
I like it.
Plus 220. I really like those numbers.
I mean, shit. I mean, Louis plus 220, and then another guy I love is Terrell Hatton, strictly because of putting and his links experience. I mean, yeah, he's a head case, but I love that about him. And I mean, these greens are gigantic, right? So like that's like someone like Willie Z, who's he's not quite losing strokes putting, but I mean, notoriously not the best putter, right? We've all seen.
So two things, like right there with the Hatton, the difference between him and Willie Z, it's their one putt percentage, not necessarily like their three putt percentage. When you knock it to 10 feet, Willie Z is going to make that maybe 50% of the time, where Hatton's knocking it down 3 out of 4 times. From long distance, though, Willie Z, you see it. I mean, if he were to go out there with your regular Joe, Willie Z would be the best putter in any group that you play in. I mean, he's barely losing strokes on the PGA Tour, which means he's a damn good putter. It looks ugly as hell from short range. His 3-putt avoidance is definitely a key factor this week. He's solid with 3-putt avoidance, so he can lag
Willie
putt,
Z,
which is big, and that's why I really like him. I mean, I think he's got it all. If he's on his game, I think he could very well win it. And if he's off his game, he's shown he can scrap. He can grind out some tournaments and still come back into some top 10s. So, a guy like Willie Z is definitely on my radar.
And like 3-putt, yeah, I mean, we're talking about 3-putt avoidance. Terrell Hatton's third. And I mean, the dude has literally grown up playing this type of golf. Him and Tommy Fleetwood have the most rounds under their belt. It's just he's a head case, and it's a major.
I don't know. Yeah, this is one of those. For me personally, I don't like either one of them. The wind. Now, if the wind starts blowing, it brings in a whole different group of golfers. The wind will be blowing, obviously, a little bit. You're on a links course on the water with no tree protection, so there's going to be wind. But there's not a ton of wind, not enough to where it's going to be do or die. If it's do or die, Fleetwood, Lowry, Hatton, these guys shoot straight up to the top. But for what it's worth, I don't love them. I think early in the week you could see some birdies. Now, if they make it to the weekend, somebody like Tommy is definitely going to be a live play for me. Once we get to the weekend where the wind picks up, it's going to get tough pin placement. That's where a guy like Tommy grinds it out. But as for the early part of the week, I'm not a huge fan of those guys. I think there's going to be some scoring going on. But, I mean, without a doubt, those guys, Justin Rose, same thing. Same. Just
yeah. Well, I mean, I want to say, no, they're respecting the shit out of Xander. Xander's hot, boy.
Yeah, he's way too hot. Sauce. That's an automatic ignore for me. I mean, he's played 7 straight weekends. He's won the past 2. He's clearly got it, but his odds, it's the same as Rory. I like them. I like Rory for a top 10. I do. I like Jordan Spieth for a top 20. I do, but when we look at some value, quote unquote, over the long course, a guy like Will Zalatoris at plus 130, freaking Colin Morikawa at plus 145, Moff.
Disrespectful.
I mean, this guy's played in
disrespect.
He's the last year's Open champion. He's not the best in the wind. He struggles a little bit from here to there, because he's so deadly accurate with his irons. But disrespectful there at plus 145. So, and then
disrespectful.
Straight down the line, Moff. I think Cameron Smith right there. That's obviously I love Cam, but so does
I love
everybody else.
Tony Finau also, just because I mean he's
Finau,
just shown up.
100%. That was the next name I was looking for. If I'm gonna eat some chalk, as they say, a guy like Tony Finau at 8,400 in DraftKings, he's sitting at plus 175 for a top 20. I'm a huge fan of Finau. I know you are, Moff. Give him to me top 5 too. And a win. Finau's just one of those guys. Everything, Moff, putting around the green, approach, all these things. Finau's pretty solid over the long stretch, and he's pretty solid currently over like the last 24 rounds. Add in his success at Links course, which is undeniable. He's the best American, probably Links player, maybe outside of Brooks Koepka over the last 5 years. So Finau, every single time he's been at the Open, it's been the top 30, and most of them have been top 10s, top 5s. You talk about, I think it was 3 years ago, who the top American, it was Finau, not Spieth or any of these guys. So given that number, 50-1 to win, I like him for a top 20, Moff, and I like him for a top 5 too.
Ooh,
I like that.
I like it.
Those are definitely some good guys there to build your lineups around. How about some long shots, Moff? What do you got over there? You got anything on your mind? I got a couple.
I do have something on my mind. And he's never played here before. He's right there with Willie Z, the Demon Deacons. Bomber, great putter. Talking about long shots. My guy Cam Young. He plays well in the big tournaments. We've seen it all year. And I don't know. He's by far one of the longest hitters out here. If it's as dry as they say, Buddy could be racking them up. And phenomenal putter. And he, I think putting is just a little. These greens are so fucking big that you got to be rolling the rock and getting it close. It's just the 3 putts out here can be detrimental. But the kid's young. I think he shows up in the big moments, and we'll see how it plays out. First Open.
Speaking of, we didn't say anything about Matty Fitz.
Fitz is not so. I just don't know. I love my guy.
He's so technical. I'll say why I don't like him. He's so technical about everything, and everything about this course and about Links is untechnical. So
yeah, you gotta have an imagination. You have got to be creative.
And the dude's a fucking robot.
He's a robot, and he's not the best putter. So I don't love Matty this week. I think he's hot like sauce, and everybody.
I don't hate him. That's just you're bringing up the weight, guys. Figured I had to bring up, but long shots I'm looking at here. I like Keith Mitchell. Somebody I like as a play here for top Asian. I like Hao Tong Lee. I think that Hao Tong Lee has a ton of experience on links courses, especially out here where he has actually dominated this course. He's not a name that's very popular, but he's a $7,000 on DraftKings. Hao Tong Lee. Hao Tong Lee. How do you do? I like him and Keith Mitchell down there at 69. Another bomber, good putter. If the course is how people are talking, meaning you can bomb it down the course, hit a short wedge, put it in, clean up. Wyndham Clark, I've rode him the past 2 weeks. He wasn't in his best form, but the past 2 weeks he has paid off big time. He comes in the back door last week with a plus 650 top 20. And the same with Maverick McNeely. Man, that save, that was whew. But here nor there.
I love Maverick.
Last week he had a heroic backdoor top 20 coming in to just carry the load. Him and Cam Smith. But other guys, Moff, maybe the long shot to win this week, guy that maybe has more win equity. A lot of people like to use that word. Billy Horschel down there at 125 was on him last week. I'll go right back to him this week and say Billy Ho can compete. He's one of the few that was out here at St. Andrews, and Billy Ho's officially on the blacklist. So take that with proceed with caution. But, it's one of these weeks. Moff, your guys down here, long shots because there's great golfers in a loaded field. Guys like Russell Henley are freaking 150 to 1. He's one of the best approach players in the game. He just struggles with the putter sometimes.
Mackenzie Hughes, super long shot.
Completely different style game, but man, he can get at that. If the wind picks up, Mackenzie Hughes is someone who shoots up that board as well.
He sticks around. I mean, you look at the leaderboard on Saturday,
so
and you're just
let's wrap it up with this. Who's winning, Moff?
I'm
gonna go Willie Z.
Willie Z. Maybe I can pick a winner here. I think
It's all right. While you're looking, I'll tell you my top prize picks prop of the week. Day one, John Daly over 2.5 birdies. Book it. The dude's gonna probably hit 6 bogeys and a double, but 3 birdies in the bag.
Yeah,
for Mr. Daly.
So I mean, I honestly, I mean, people just forget about this guy. I mean, they don't forget it. But too hotty, man. I think.
Too hotty.
Either him, Scotty Too Hotty, or
Finau. Finau was your guy originally.
Yeah, but Finau's not a winner. He's won like 4 times on tour or whatever it is. Like he's a scorer. He can play ball, but I think he's a head case, and I don't think he's cut out to win a major championship. And I like guy. I mean, Scotty's already won 1 this year. It would be. I mean, people are especially in DFS. I'm going off projected ownership DFS. Colin Morikawa has no respect. I mean, it's kind of bizarre considering he won, and I mean
40 to 1, whatever he is. That's a great number on Morikawa out there.
And this year in particular has been a lot of back-to-back winners, not majors obviously, but just tournaments in general. You've got a lot of defending champions. It's a different course. It's a major. But I mean, the amount of disrespect on Colin Morikawa is I mean, he is losing strokes putting. Yeah. But I mean, dude's rock solid on irons and off the tee. I mean, he's a beast. I mean, shit, fucking JT. Nobody's talking about JT. He's not winning. JT's not winning. JT's not winning. Scotty Too Hotty or Colin, I think will be.
Enough. I like that. I'm going with I'm going with Willie Z. Or my long shot, I'm going back to Oy vey. We got cut. I don't know what just happened there. We're cut. And we're back. Moff, what happened there? Moff's not back. Sorry about that. All right, well, we're wrapping it up here. Let me get Moff back in here. I don't know what happened there. But wrapping it up, in a nutshell, what kind of plays do we like? We like Willie Z. We like Tony Finau. We both like Louis Oosthuizen. We can probably lock him up as a lock of the week. So we're looking to, let me see, Willie Z was plus 135. That's one of my favorites, without a doubt. Probably be my lock of the week personally. Moff and I are both looking at the value on Colin Morikawa, sitting at plus 150, which is an absolute crime. Unbelievable there. But then Louis Oosthuizen, plus 220 for a top 20. Without a doubt, probably the best value of anybody on the board. You look at him for a top 10 as well, sitting at plus 380. Moff is back in the game. Moff, we're wrapping it up. You got anything to say over there?
I mean, let's wrap it up since we can link back up here. I mean, top 20 lock of the week. We love Louis, right?
Yeah, I just gave him a little baby recap there while you were out.
Who's second?
Louis, Willie, and Colin. Colin's the value play. Unbelievable that he's sitting at the number he is. And I think it's based off last week. A lot of these guys, you could give me blindly, like straight across the board, the guys that got cut last week to finish in the top 20 here, all at plus money. Willie Z, JT, Scheffler. I think they all hold some pretty solid little value there, especially considering the next row down. You've got guys like Ryan Fox, Seamus Power, Hovland, Tiger Woods. I mean, those are the guys in the next category. So, anyways, Moff.
Disrespectful, yeah. Louis and Colin, I like that.
And Willie Z's mine, without a doubt. I love Louis. We'll officially lock it up. Louis again. We're back in the Louis train. Man.
Louis
Oosthuizen. Ain't nothing like it. Going back to the well. So wrapping up the Moff, give me your DFS lineup. Who's your top DFS play? What do you have over there?
I mean, I really like the live guys. Now that you mention it, I mean, I don't like Bryson, but I like the rest of them. I like, yeah. I mean, you could go Louis, Brooks, DJ. I don't know how the money stacks up, but like, I mean, throw
you can
fucking.
Fit. I promise you can fit this lineup here into one. Hideki, DJ, Brooks, Louis. Throw some Patty Reed down there at the bottom. And
wait, Hideki's live?
Huh?
Hideki went to live?
Yeah, Hideki's live. Hideki, Abraham. I don't know if Hideki's 100% confirmed, but I'm pretty sure Hideki is live. But,
wow. That's a ball buster. I love Brooks this week.
All right, well that's big balls. I'll give you that. I like Bryson
big
this
balls.
week, so maybe we'll call ourselves a live podcast here if this week shoots out. But none of
we
them
are not a live
locks of the
podcast.
week. Actually, Louis is the lock of the week, but. If I'm looking for long shots, a guy like Patty Reed plus 420 to finish in the top 20, book it.
Robert McIntyre for a top 20 wouldn't be. I mean, talk about long shots. Bobby Mack miscut last week, 8th and 6th, the last two opens.
Good point. Maybe a little too much pressure in Scotland last week. We see it actually all the time. That's actually a great point, Mom. Bobby Mack. I think he'll be less owned. He's around like 7,800 in DFS. If you need to wrap up your lineup with somebody in that area, Moff, that's
throw Bobby Mack in there.
One there. He was highly
2.5% owned.
He was highly owned last week. Let some people down. We were on Russell Knox last week. The other Scott, pressure was maybe a little too much for Bobby Mack going back home. So Robert McIntyre coming out here this week, 6th and 8th in the last two Open championships. Moff just said, numbers don't lie. Hey, Moff, I got a question for you.
What's up?
Actually, never mind. Wind's coming in sideways. Course goes up and back. It's going to be, half holes coming left to right, half the holes right to left. But let's roll.
I like it. Let's lock it up.
Louis, locked in there. Good luck. God bless. Grind on. Peace and blessings, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely.
Shoot. If you want the premium card, just shoot me an email. ghostpickspatrick@gmail.com. That's actually not the email at all. Patrick.ghostpicks@gmail.com. Moff, thanks for coming on with me. I love talking. This was awesome. We got some good stuff. Everybody, actually,
good stuff.
Comment. Let's do some comments here. I'll do a free giveaway, a free week-long giveaway, all picks, everything included. You give us your top 6 golfers. You take the top 5 scores, and from those 6 golfers, and whoever wins has the lowest score ends up winning. I'll do a little
got a
thing
comment.
In the comment. I'll do a little thing in the
got
comments.
A comment below.
Bit of the rules, but all you do is name 6 golfers. If they miss the cut, though, we have to do a punishment. It's like minus 10 strokes if they miss the cut. So ideally, you want people to make the cut, but end the winner. I'll do it in the comments.
Or just do 6 golfers, top 4.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then you have to go off your top 4.
That's not a bad point.
Let us know who you like. You can win some free picks. And if you don't win free picks, pay this man. He gives out good content, good picks, good info. Peace and blessings. Grind on.
Peace and blessings.